It's time to tune in for our weekly TV roundup.
Brian, what's your pick this week?
It's a show that I think people are familiar with already, The Office, which is on NBC. A single-camera sitcom with an ensemble cast. The big question on everybody's mind is what are they going to do after Steve Carell has left the show?
All right.
If the first episode of season 8 is any indication, the show still has some legs. I think when people think about the show, they like to talk about how Michael Scott, the iconic TV character, is really the lifeblood of the entire series, and if you lose him, you lose the basis of what makes the show work.
People say I am the best boss.
They've populated this office with so many interesting people that if you lose one, you can still find ways to find interesting stories with some of the other characters. They might actually be able to delve into some things that they haven't been able to do yet. And they've made a really strong creative decision to have Andy Bernard, who's played by Ed Helms, be the replacement.
Do I sometimes repeat a word to get my point across? Well, if I do, Andy, sorry.
You can't be a baby in the office. It makes me look like I hire babies.
Instead of bringing in a new character that you have to introduce new storylines and new contexts for how he relates to other characters, they bring somebody that already has relationships with people in the office. Andy has some tensions with Dwight. He has an unrequited romance with Aaron. And by elevating him to the central thrust of the show, it creates this interesting dynamic where we can really raise the stakes of these issues. What made Michael's character so great was not that he was a jerk, that he was an idiot, and that he was mean to everybody. It's that his character had a ton of soul.
I think that pretty much sums it up.
It was a character that was lonely, a character that didn't have any friends and treated everybody in the office like they were a big family. And so every decision that he made in the office was informed by this inability to separate personal life from business life. If there's any character in the show that kind of has a similar arc, it's Andy. Because Andy is also a character that is trying to find love with the other coworkers and try to get their acceptance.
Dude, you are so money, but you don't even know it. But you do.
This is what the first episode of this season really tries to do. It tries to unify the cast and try to find a good way to find somebody new that can also offer that heart and, that tomfoolery.
So, give us your verdict.
The Office's glory days were seasons 2 through 4. And it hasn't really been the same show, but it's still worthwhile viewing because it's got great characters and good writing. And that continues after Steve Carell has left the show. So I think there's more than enough intrigue here to continue watching. And I say see it.
I can get behind that.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.